I went from making $20 an hour to over $100,000 this month. Quick disclaimer, the $100,000 is in sales, not take home pay. But regardless, I went from $20 an hour to over $100,000 a month. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it so you can do it for yourself. Over 3 months ago, I was working a job and it was pretty much a dead end. There was no more room for growth. The way I like to think about jobs is with a learning curve. When you first start a job, your growth accelerates as you're learning. And when I first started, there was a learning curve. But later into that job, there wasn't much of a learning curve anymore for me to explore, and I capped out what I was doing. Now, like most jobs, it can open some opportunities for you, and there were some good things coming my way from that job. But ultimately, it wasn't the right fit for me. And the universe has a weird way of working, but I ultimately lost that job. For about a month, I was unemployed, looking for different ways to make things happen. And I tried a few different things out, but none of them were really aligned with what I was passionate about or paying the bills, honestly. So I got out of my comfort zone and I started looking for a new job, maybe in something that wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I applied for many different positions and got a quick response back from one position that day, literally 15 minutes after I applied. And I showed up. This is huge. You have to be willing to show up quickly. The speed that you're willing to act is going to be a massive difference between you and somebody else applying for the same job or you and making a sale too. Speed is critical, but that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is how I made that transition from $20 an hour to $100,000 an hour. And this job was that opportunity vehicle for me. And when I went in, I interviewed. This position was for a personal trainer at a gym. And after speaking to them about some of my past experience and looking at my resume, they actually thought I would be a good fit to be the general manager there. And that's what I want to talk about. How did I make myself into being a good fit for the general manager position? And it was the experience that I had in the past that made me stick out, but not necessarily where I had worked, but what I had done when I was working there. And this is something you have control over. You can control what work you do at your job. Are you going to be someone that does the bare minimum? Or are you going to be someone that looks to achieve more and do the best you can with what you have? That's the type of person I am. And in my past positions, I'd always been reaching for the stars and looking for areas that I can improve. And one of those examples was in marketing, a marketing effort. Marketing had become a skill that I had found some interest in because I know it's a valuable skill. And that is exactly what made me stick out from one prospect to another. One was this track record of doing marketing for other businesses. And once you have an opportunity vehicle that matches the skill set along with that same learning curve that we were talking about, that's when everything starts to work together. And that's exactly what started happening. It took me a little while to find my groove in that new position, as I'm sure many people have felt with a new job or new changes. But then once you start figuring out the back end, how things start working, you can really let your skill set shine. And you have so much untapped potential that you just need to find the appropriate opportunity vehicle to help you paddle downstream. Things don't have to be as hard as you make them out to be. And if you find a good match between an opportunity vehicle and the skill sets you have, you can go paddle downstream as fast as you want to. And that's exactly what I did. Finding that opportunity means getting outside of your comfort zone, doing maybe some things that you didn't want to do, which was applying for another job and showing up. But then once you get into this position, it's not like you sit down, settle in, and get comfortable. You continue learning, you continue honing in your skill set to make that gap between anybody else who was applying for the position or who is in the position so much greater by showing that you are there to develop yourself and develop the business that you are in. And this sort of mentality of constant improvement, constant growth, is going to be the difference between a successful version of yourself and a mediocre version of yourself. If you feel like me and you're tired of being average, then you have to do something about it. And what I'm laying out for you here is what you can do about it. No matter what position you are in right now, you can create value within the business that you're in. You just have to look for where that value is. And that becomes your skill set. If you can extract more value from the business you are currently in, the marketplace will reward that. And maybe it won't be the current manager, boss, owner that rewards you, but down the line, as you continue to hone in this skill set, you will find that opportunity vehicle in that owner that recognizes the value that you have to produce. And you just have to keep getting after it. And it wasn't for me until I'd been toyed around with, and even the job before the last job where I'd been toyed around with, that I found something where I can use all my skills. And that is so important. You have to find the opportunity vehicle that lets you flourish and use all the skills that you have and continue to learn more skills while doing that. And if you're a younger guy or gal, you have to find those opportunity vehicles with a learning curve, because that is how you continue to develop your skill set. And now more than ever on the internet, I find that so much disinformation is around that it detracts you from actually focusing on the quote unquote easy opportunities you have to create more value. You don't have to start your own business to create value. You can create value with the business you are already in. And more than likely, if you have the right people in front of you, then they're going to recognize that value and you're going to be able to ascend yourself and then maybe start that business if that's what you want to do. But it's all about value creation. If you have a supply of value creation, there's always going to be a demand for that value because businesses want to keep growing. And if you can help a business grow, you are going to have an arbitrage between what you can create value for that business and what they're willing to pay you. And then you start earning more. And once you start earning more, you can invest into yourself more. And once you can invest into yourself more, you learn more. And once you learn more, you can create more value for businesses. And once you create more value for businesses, you start earning more. And it's this cycle of, okay, where can I put myself into this business in order to create the most value? And for me, over the last 6 years of working in gyms, I've learned a ton of skills, but I haven't had the right opportunity vehicle to really put those skills to use until now. I can market the gym and sell the leads that I generate. That match right there means that I can create loads of value for this business, and that is exactly what I plan on doing and continuing to do. I plan on continuing to hone in my skill set, become a better version of myself, and add a sugar ton of value. Mom, I didn't cuss for you. Add a sugar ton of value to the business I'm already in and use those skill sets and use that compensation structure to continue to improve myself. And it's fun. It's fun. I don't know. I just find it fun. Finding that right opportunity vehicle takes time, and it usually takes getting shit on, too, sugared on, pooped on. And that's just the way it goes. And if you can find that opportunity vehicle faster or slower, then all good for you. But my advice is, if you're not content with the position you're in right now or the job you're in right now, give it 1 year. 1 year is the max amount you should stay at a job, especially if you find that the learning curve is starting to taper down. If you aren't learning anymore and you are in your teens or early 20s, you need to find a new opportunity vehicle. And if you're the type of person who's watching this video right now and wants to keep learning and add value to businesses, you're going to eventually stumble across one of these businesses where you can learn with the business and get paid to learn and add a ton of value to that business. But anyways, love you guys. Keep doing cool things. Go to the gym, learn something. Share this video with a friend if you liked it. Drop a thumbs up. Subscribe. And hopefully the camera quality looks good, because I can't see myself right now. But peace.